Today I would like to talk about the deep learning and artificial intelligence. In the last 56 years, humans have creating some form of intelligence and try to challenge to win a human, especially in a chess game. I think already almost 10 years ago, I think the computer can win human, and but high Go, the Go is actually quite hard because it have more possibility. Then they're estimating that even though the computer calculation is getting better and better, they have no way to be able to beat a human. So this is a starting point because three things. I think the first thing is the computer's calculation is getting better, getting smaller, getting better. Second, we started to have big data. We start to have many sensor and big data. So we start to have many storage. And the third thing is the new ways of how humans look at computer intelligence. So they're saying that roughly if you crack down human intelligence, it will have like recognition. Human not only actually see image or hear the audio, we actually see picture of things, and we see the language and interpret the meaning. So that type of meaning generation, a computer cannot actually get it. So there's one researcher, actually he is the gifted programmer, and he's used to be a chess player as well. At 16 he actually go to Cambridge University, and he's actually a programmer of HiGo, the AlphaGo. He's saying that since human brain is also physical, it should be possible for them to be able to creating some form of intelligence out of the physical things. So they start to define the function of the brain and how to imitate the brain function. So first thing, they started to mimic the recognition part, so especially the image and audio side, and be able to recognize picture and language. The second thing is this is what human not as good as the machine is the memory. They're already doing a good function of the intelligence based on memory, but machine used to remember things without a meaning. So now they're saying that they started to have a memory with the association of meaning. Because of the big data, people let go of accuracy and become a rough thing, so become meaning. The third thing is calculation. Humans have lost machine long ago on calculation. And the number 4, this is the main ingredient why AlphaGo actually can win, is they're saying that for the chess, even though you in the HiGo, even though you want to win, you cannot calculate on all the possibility and select the best that is possible. You need to have the instinct. One interesting thing about this is when they're scanning the professional brain, they're saying that they not think more. It's actually opposite. When you be able to master something, you actually think less. Mean that you have started to use instinct and the forecast. So they're saying that AlphaGo actually have compute around 50 or 100 times lower than the previous version that actually used only memory and calculation method. So AlphaGo can actually decide the thing faster and actually more creative. Number 5 is creativity and creating form of art. They're saying that now computer can scan the best artists and then analyze the pattern of what is considered to be good. So one of the conditions to make the machine learn is you need to have big enough data, so the machine can find the average of the common things. So you need to define the characters. Last time when you want to make the machine learn something, you must actually give the pattern or the program itself, saying that, like for example, you need to define what type of pattern is actually right for the machine to do. So that's why it relies on a human. So when you don't think of that exceptional, then the machine will lose to human. But now, because the machine will decide on itself, which is good, but you need to set a parameter like objective. For example, this is the good art. Then you show many good art to the machine, and the machine will automatically learn. So another function of the human intelligence is objective setting. They're saying that human can set the objective and decide where to go, but machine cannot yet. And the last one is emotional. So they're trying to mimic all this type of thing: recognition, memory, calculation, instinct, creativity, objective setting, and emotion. So they're saying that artificial intelligence already started to be utilized in many of the field. One of the field is actually finding the pattern in the document. Like for example, in the law or the patent, they started to use artificial intelligence to find the pattern of things that actually there or not there. The cancer fighting, they're saying that now the artificial intelligence can do a very accurate prediction whether this person have a cancer or not, even though the cancer is as small as 1 millicentimeters. And I think you already know those puzzle solving, chess play, those type of things. And the last one that I think maybe everyone already know is the automation of the driving car. So they're saying there's 4 levels of automation. Now it's actually if version automation level 1 is already in use. For example, automatic braking system. Level 2, level 3, and then level 4 is complete automation without human intervention. So now the test is actually on level 2 and level 3. So one amazing thing about the artificial intelligence is one of the key change is the method they use. Actually, they switch the method of programming, use a lot of big data to a learning method. So they mimic what human do by let the machine learn by the data. You just actually give them to have some certain parameter, like for example, please have a high score or please win. Then the machine will start to learn by actually try and error. So because of this, the automated created neuron, they're saying that it's because DeepMind is actually mimic the way how human brain work on a neuron and a deep writing of the data. So the developer also don't know what happened in the actual program. So if the developer want to edit or want to change anything, they will not be able to do. They just knowing that the program, they just teach the machine to learn, but you don't know what is inside the machine brain anymore. And the historical things on early this year is, I think March this year, the Google DeepMind or the Google deep learning algorithm AlphaGo actually win the world champion on Ego, the Lee Sedol, 4-1. They're playing 5 games, and 1 game the DeepMind actually lose. And it's very interesting. They're saying that during the time that it's the 4th game that Lee Sedol win, they're saying that the machine just run wild and then doing something unreasonable. So they're saying that it's a too early state, but I think they're saying that there's some misbehavior that actually the deep learning is still having, and the developer also don't know what it is. In the original times where the first, for example, in the recognition world, when the AI trying to, or the computer trying to recognize the cat, normally they need to define the character of the cat, like, so for example, have the hair and have the triangle shape of the ear, how's the nose, how's the eye look like, or how's the mouth look like. Now the thing is, the machine can just see a lot of cat, and then you just tell that this is cat, and you see enough cat, then the machine will be able to find and understanding the pattern of what being cat without human actually doing a direct program. And it can actually also find the cat in a different type of manner from the original that you actually see. So this actually used in a lot of the CCTV, in a modern CCTV, to identify some criminal or some people who are actually trying to cheat or something in a bank. And they're saying that the reason why high ego is actually very the goal is actually very hard to win is because in the normal chess environment, the possibility of things happen is 10 power by 120. But when you're talking about ego or the goal, it's actually equal to 10 power by 360. So the power is 360 against the 120. Don't forget that this is the number of possibility actually powered by. So it's unbelievable amount of size. So the machine, even though you developing another 10, 20 years, or they're saying even 100 years, the calculation will not be able to cope with something that actually Go have. So it's a new method of, it's not a computation power alone. So what they're trying to do is, they're saying that the core features of the deep learning is, first thing, you allow the computer to learn by itself. The second thing, you allow the computer to try and errors, as many as possible. They're saying that for AlphaGo case, AlphaGo case have automated, so they're creating many AlphaGo and then let AlphaGo play with AlphaGo. So they're saying that they're already playing 30 million Go game. So if human doing this, it would taking 8,200 years. But I think it's not the case for the computer, because you can duplicate and actually auto sync what you have learned. So it sounds like cheating, but actually the machine, 10 machine can learn, but learning single thing, and it actually find a new pattern and actually record in the same brain. The same thing that actually Google do in the arms or the robotics is, they actually let many of the robot arms actually learn how to pick the things like round shape, triangle shape, or many type of shape, and remember this, and then they put in 14 to 20 arms that actually picking this, so the speed of learning is getting faster. And in the language comprehension of the deep mind or the deep learning, Microsoft actually have put in two AI. The first thing is Tay.ai. It's the lady's teenager, and it's like a naive teenager, and they're saying that because in the internet, people actually use the brute word, violence word toward Tay.ai. The Tay.ai start to be rude and violence to those players. So they're saying that Microsoft stopped this. And another one is Microsoft actually released, they're saying that release Cell Eyes. Cell is actually small, eyes is ice, ice, water become ice. And they're saying that there's 40 million people actually using this, and they're saying that some people actually thought that the machine is their girlfriend. Then Cell Eyes is actually quite successful, and they have cut the scene where there's one guy actually tell about his story, saying that his father don't love you, don't love me, and then the Cell Eyes actually saying that, okay, then you need to love yourself, and why not I sing some song for you, and then he sing a popular song, and then people start to open heart for the AI. Another thing is about the human emotion. They're saying that in the research they're trying to give emotion to the machine as well. One of the big research in Japan, they're saying what is human emotion. Human emotion is the balance between a few neurotransmitter or hormone or actually blood sugar level. So they actually for example, when serotonin is reduced, adrenaline is increased, you feel stress and you feel uncertainty. But serotonin increased, noradrenaline, adrenaline lower, you feel relaxed. This type of things. So they're saying that they put in 7 neurotransmitter plus hormone plus the blood sugar level and indicate into the mimic how the brain work on the neurotransmitter. And it's the future to come, and I think AI is really challenging. We don't know whether the AI because for sure in some certain part computers and artificial intelligence already become smarter than human. So how we gonna live with the artificial intelligence, and how the country will take it and developing this. I see the interview of Elon Musk. He is actually mentioning about the artificial intelligence and the needs to open the platform. So even though people want to wrongly use the artificial intelligence, people understand what it is. There's a few things that I learned during the study of the deep learning. First thing is it's very similar to how humans learn. You just actually need to give a lot of things and tell that it's good or bad or what is give the meaning to it, and the children already started to associate with it. The second thing, you need to learn to do a trial and error. In our education we don't allow much of the trial and error, so that's why we don't see the new pattern. But I think the trial and error can also being simulated by computer, so you don't need to try and error by your own self. So simulation will be a key for the success as well. The third thing I feel is Thailand as a country, or even Japan, they feel very threatening because if someone actually own the AI, which is actually very powerful, very strong, you will not be able to compete in some certain area. Like they're saying that Amazon, Rakuten, all these company already start using AI to help boost the sales, to doing personalize of the sales. So I think we too need to understand and find out what we can do and what we can learn, or what we can actually do to implement this into our system. And I think this one will impact the society in 5.0. Now it's the 4.0 times. So I think in 5.0, machine will be smarter than human. Then what is the human role that we need to live and perform to creating a different form of productivity? That's what I actually learned from artificial intelligence and the deep learning.